You know what? I always love a good story about a black woman getting that bag, securing it.
Yeah.
Not this bag is too big, right? Beyonce had to have the wire transfer, right? You had to.
Yeah, you
make
can't
sure,
do 6 million in cash.
You definitely can't do 300
Seems like
million in cash. No,
a drug
make
deal.
sure, did the wire transfer clear? Good. You know, all right. Now we can continue the conversation, right?
Yeah.
So, if you haven't heard the news, so not only did her, what was the documentary she just dropped on Netflix? What was that called again? The Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
So not only did that average, I think it averaged like 800,000 viewers per minute or something like that when it first premiered on Netflix. One of the highest rated premieres of like a Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
Definitely a Netflix series or just program in general.
Yeah.
When you look at the viewership per minute. So that was a massive success, right?
Sure.
And then, you know, we all know that Facebook recently had its IPO. For you listeners who went to public school, that's initial public offering.
Yeah, they teach that. No, they don't. No. They definitely don't. Yeah.
No, they teach that, I'm sure.
Just in the advanced classes.
I just wanted to be an asshole.
Yeah.
So they recently had their IPO, which, you know, for some companies, you know, it could be it could be good and bad for the company, right? At the end of the day, no matter what, there's going to be an influx of funds. Some companies will go in with a high initial offering, and then it'll, you know, it won't meet expectations or market valuation expectations. Sometimes it'll exceed market value expectations.
Yeah.
Like we saw with what was Facebook when it had its initial IPO.
Yeah.
Uber's IPO, I believe, exceeded valuation expectations, so on and so on. And
Sure.
We're coming to find out who were some of the early investors in Uber.
Yeah.
People like Lance Armstrong, Mark Cuban. There's another name in this list that's going to come to me. I forget who it was, but
Liza Minnelli.
Was it Liza Minnelli?
I just threw out literally any name.
Maybe. So one of the people obviously was the Queen Bee, Beyonce. Beyonce, Jay-Z's wife. Beyonce, no, I don't know why I threw that in.
Yeah, very
Jay-Z's wife. You got to throw him in there.
The Beehive are going to come after you.
Because I got a Jay-Z question in a little bit.
Okay.
So, you know, Beyonce, is that her real name? Yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah,
yeah, Beyonce knows.
Who knows?
Yo, it's always funny when they come out with their like actual names, because then it's like, yo, like, do you like? We all know your name. We could just search for you on public record. We can just like. I don't know.
What do you mean when they come out with their real names?
Or like they use their real names, like instead of having like a stage name.
Yeah.
They just have their regular name. As
like you're
right.
Weird. It either has to be dope or just has to like stick. You know.
Yeah. What was her mom thinking with Beyonce? What's the?
I don't know. Her mom knew like. We're gonna get fucking money.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. But her sister Solange, like that's not a common name either, right?
No, but somehow that doesn't sound as I guess this goes to like the person makes the name doesn't make the person.
Yeah,
yeah. So we look at Beyonce. Oh my
like
God, Beyonce. You know,
just because it's such a brand now.
What, Solange?
Beyonce might as well be like Uber.
Might as well be.
Or Band-Aid.
Yeah, she owns enough
right?
of it. Yeah.
It's a household name, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, back in 2015, Beyonce performed at an internal Uber party. It may have been their like fucking holiday party, their Christmas party.
Rich bastards.
Or just a party that they wanted to have on a Friday.
Yeah, because I'm wondering about my company and like, if like I came in like on a fucking Thursday and I'm like, yo, guess who's gonna be performing tomorrow? Beyonce. I'm like, wait,
what? No. Cancel it. Cancel the performance. Can we just get paid more? Can we just get a little bit more money?
I saw my check this past week. I think a couple of zeros were missing.
So Beyonce was paid. Well, her performance fee is $6 million, right? Yeah. Now this is back in 2015, and instead of taking a $6 million payout, what she did was she asked for $6 million in stock options, right? Ownership of the company. Yeah. Fast forward 4 years later, Uber has its IPO. That $6 million is now worth roughly $300 million.
Yo, the fucking come up of the year. Holy shit.
$6 million. Yeah. 4 years, $300 million.
Yeah.
That is a massive.
Yo, shout out to fucking
increase.
Beyonce's accountant. Like whoever her fucking accountant is.
Yeah,
That dude's a fucking genius, or woman.
Let's
whoever that was.
You know, I don't know who that person is, so I'm just gonna give it to her for making. Because I feel like she probably made this decision. Like,
drop a fucking bomb for B. Holy shit!
Because in 2015, she didn't need that money.
No, not even remotely.
She had bank accounts in countries we've never heard of, right? Offshore accounts, Caymans, Panama, Russia, fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
So she didn't need $6 million in 2015.
No, and she knew, like, but then that gets me to wondering, like, how many other companies has she done that with that like tanked? That were like, she was like, it would have been, she would have gotten $6 million, but they tanked, so she gets like 250,000.
Maybe she was an early investor in Enron. Maybe she gave Bernie Madoff some money. Fucking JCPenney, right? Yeah, she lost
Circuit City.
Yeah. She probably owned several Circuit Cities.
Or Toys R Us.
Probably owned 1,000 taxi cabs throughout Houston, and then
she's fucking doing the Christmas party at Toys R Us. Like, yo, this shit is not going to end well. These dudes, dude, they scrapped every penny together to get me here.
Yeah, but hey, you know, even if you take all of those losses, right? Let's say she lost $50 million in bad investments.
Yeah,
fuck it, because this one right here, paid the fuck off.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure she's making tons of investments like all over the place. Like, and it's curious, right? Like, so with shit like that, I wonder, like, how haven't her and Jay-Z hit a billy? They had to have.
No, I think collectively they're over $1 billion.
I thought it was like at 900 something.
They're at $1 billion.
Yo, and here comes fucking Kylie Jenner in fucking one summer. I'm like, this lip gloss is good.
Yeah, she
$1 billion.
Kylie literally in like 1 or 2 years, Kylie Cosmetics literally just. Well, I mean, shout out to Rihanna's Fenty, right? You know, growth is projected to surpass Kylie Jenner's line. Is it? Right? Yeah. Oh, well, I think it. You know, I think it already beat it towards the end of 2018.
We would have heard about it.
Because Kylie was at about, like, the brand was roughly $900 million. And
you know what the difference is? The company probably has, but Kylie owns pretty much, I think, all of Kylie Cosmetics.
Rihanna's product line, which, no, I think she does.
She owns all of it?
So it's under a larger company, but her product line, she's like majority owner of that line.
I don't think it works the same in that case. Cause I think she along with the parent company, she has the most stakes, I'm sure, and I'm just speculating. I have no idea what their dynamic is, but I'm sure if there's a parent company, that parent company owns the majority of the company, but outside of the parent company, I'm sure
she's like
Rihanna's the majority.
But no, I think towards the end of 2018, they were saying Rihanna's line was projected to exceed Kylie's by like 2019.
Yeah, because I think if that were the case, if it did surpass, we would have heard about it.
No, I mean the articles were out.
No, I mean we would have heard about it.
That it surpassed it. Yeah, when it does, probably next month or something like that, right? Anyway, so you know there are lots of celebrities who have made these like amazing investments early on that, you know, who knew that it would take off in the way it did. I remember reading a story about he was like a local artist, a graffiti artist in like LA or something like that, who Facebook had in the early stages of Facebook. I think it was when it was still the Facebook. They'd hired him to do a wall mural in their office. Yeah, and instead of, you know, being paid out like the $60,000 fee that he had, he took stock options, right? Yeah. And then, you know, $60,000 back in 2001 or whatever, and now during the time when they had their IPO, his options were worth like $30 million.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to go off on just a slight rant here. So I think this is what, you know, you talk about like the black community and like, hey, you know, like what do we need to do? Like, and I think this is what Jay-Z was trying to say with 444 is that, like, instead of looking at like what you can get max today, look at like what you can do for the future. Look at what you can build down the line, right? Like, okay, sure, you could take that $6 million today, but if you like, keep your $6 million, you know, but I guess you would have to be in a position to be able to be like, forget that $6 million, like, because that's a different kind of situation than like you've got $10 in your bank account and you're like, well, that $6 million might help a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, and that's the unfortunate thing, right? And I think Childish Gambino once said it in like an interview he was doing. He was like, there's all this talk about how like, oh, invest your money, plan for the future, blah, blah, blah. But to do that, you got to be in a position to invest. Like, you can't be starving, right? And then say, oh, I'm going to, put this $25, I'm going to put it over here and invest it when you've got to eat today.
Yeah.
But the goal is to minimize your expenses, right? Start to save, don't take on unnecessary debt, spend wisely, put yourself in a comfortable position where you can set aside a little bit of money, even if it's just $100 a month, which for some people, unfortunately, is still a lot of money.
Well, you got to keep your habits to a minimum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what gets everybody, right? Yeah. Our habits of like, okay, hey, I like spending money on clothes. I like spending money on trips. I like you have to do those things in moderation. Like,
what are your habits?
I actually don't really have any, weirdly enough. I don't really have any habits. I would say probably food is like my thing. Like, I just love food.
Like, as in like going out to eat?
Yeah, like going out to eat. I think I don't cook enough. Like, I cook. Yeah. I probably cook more than the average person, but I don't cook enough for like what I would consider like reasonable. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Like, do you go out and buy breakfast on the way to work every morning? Do you like buy lunch every?
I probably buy lunch like every day, but like I go through weird phases where for like a month I won't go out and buy lunch, at work, but then I'll do like another month where that's all I do is go out and buy lunch, and it's because it's like time. Like, every time something changes in my schedule, that throws me off in terms of like I just don't have the time, or I don't think about factoring in time to do certain shit like cook. So for instance, even the podcast, right? I get home and this is the time where I would take the time to make something and then have that be the thing that I eat throughout the day or throughout the week.
Yeah.
But instead I'm doing the podcast. So, but every time I add something to my schedule, like, hey, we're doing trivia. Hey, I've got another podcast. Hey,
it takes time.
It takes time to like readjust and then be like, all right, I gotta like.
So now you have to go out and buy that dinner or buy that lunch or buy that breakfast. Yeah. Mine's, I would say it's like whenever I spend, I always justify that one extra thing. Like if I go, like today I went to the store, right? And I was going to go and buy just some like, hygiene products, lotion, deodorant, body wash, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the store. I'm like, let me get this too. Let me get this shit
like
over here.
Unscheduled purchases,
shit that I probably don't need. Like, I might need that eventually. Let me get that too, right? So going into the store with an expectation of spending maybe $20 turns into like a $45,
$50.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then when I get to checkout, that's when I'm like, fuck.
What did you do?
I need someone to follow me around the store and
slap your hand.
And ask me, slap my hand, like, do you really need that? And my answer is usually gonna be no, I don't. I need that person.
That's actually true, but also kind of not true. Like, sometimes, I do go to the store and buy like very unnecessary things, but then those things end up actually being useful. It's just I didn't need those things at the particular time that I bought them, but they end up being like useful.
Yeah,
it's different when you go to the store, you buy something and it's completely useless, and you're like, I don't know, I can't justify this at all.
Yeah.
Like,
you know who's not worried about that shit? Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't give a fuck. She's like, yeah, is that bracelet $400,000? Yeah, I'll get it.
Hey, like Fab said, throw it in the fucking bag. All right.
You know what? So I read this thing that it was just a valuation of Jeff Bezos's wealth versus the average person's wealth, right? And it was like one of those things where it's like to the average person, $7 or like spending $45,000 is equivalent to the average person spending like $3 or $5.
That's a whole different mode, as Jay-Z said. Like, that's a whole different mode.
So Jeff Bezos could literally spend like $12 million, and he probably won't even notice it if you were to look at his account.
No, he really wouldn't notice.
It would be like spending, like $40.
That really makes you think about like, okay, so we like criticize the rich and we're like, oh, and obviously we can criticize Jeff Bezos because he's making those billions of dollars off the backs of people
and not paying any taxes.
Shit, yeah, he's not paying any taxes. So yeah, when I see the fucked up streets in fucking Baltimore, actually, I don't think that works that quite the way, but I'm still gonna blame him nonetheless.
Yeah. Blame him. It's his fucking Amazon trucks delivering shit that we didn't really need to buy. That's fucking up our roads.
Somehow. We're gonna trace this back to Jeff Bezos, but
I hate the way you say his name.
Bezos,
by the way. Yeah,
Bezos. Bezos. Is there an A in there?
No,
Bezos.
Just Bezos. Bezos.
Why is there an accent on the E?
I don't know. Ask him, nigga. Fucking ask me. But you're definitely saying it wrong. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Bezos.
I think you just
you're adding an extra E.
Or there's just an E there.
No, it's B-E, not B-E.
Bezos. I say Bezos.
No, you said Bezos.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I don't know what that shit was.
All right, moving on.
Shout out to Beyonce.
Shout out to the Bayhive, who I'm deathly afraid of.
Beehive, nigga.
Bayhive. It's spelled B-E-Y hive.
Still the Beehive.
Okay. All right. Is it not the Bay? Like, is that? No, that's how you say Bay, right?
No, it's Beehive. It might be B-E-Y hive, but it's still Beehive. No one's gonna Bayhive. Yeah, have you ever heard anybody say that?
Yeah. What do you mean? I can't. I'm gonna go out on the street and find them right now. I don't fucking know. Like, people in general.
No one's ever said that. Nobody.
Okay, I've said it just now. I'm coining. Hey, if it wasn't coined before, I'm coining it now.
You better not try to coin new shit on the back of Beyonce, because the Beehive will definitely come for you.
The Bayhive will. All right, let's talk about fucking some upcoming movies.